All right, so everybody, here's Mock, Spocky.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Mark Willitson. That was my wife, Judy. We're excited to have you on this evening's Elepreneur Zoom. We're coming to you live from Plano, Texas, right here in the boardroom. Goodness, it's been a really fun day. There were a bunch of people here, actually still here. I think there was over 20 people here today, hearing both from John, our president, and also Robert O'Blon, getting the whole vision, the whole picture of, how all this came to be. And I'll have a few of them share with you what their experience was today. But if you've been invited on to this Zoom this evening, we're excited to have you here. We're excited to share with you an incredible duo of products and a program that has changed a lot of our lives. My story started back in June. My wife Judy and I were called by a friend and said, hey, could you meet with or have a discussion with a friend that I met? I think you might be interested. And we happened to be on our way to Dallas, and this guy happened to live in Dallas, Robert O'Blon, and we agreed to meet and had dinner. Judy and I have been in direct sales for 22 years, self-employed our entire lives. And having climbed the ladder at several companies, there were a few things that, we noticed that could be different, that could be way better. And when we had dinner with Robert that evening, Robert's been on the other side. He's been on the company side. He's never been a distributor in multi-level marketing, direct selling, whatever we want to label it. He's never participated. And we were resonating about the same things. And he wanted to make a change, and we got excited about that vision that he had. And at the time, though, we were doing quite well in another company. So we really weren't sure how that would work out participating at that point in time. As a matter of fact, we knew nothing about any of the products. And but we did go ahead and we invested, since Robert has a public company that is a diversified holdings company atop all this. We took that opportunity to invest in it because we had that happen 20 years ago, or actually 17 years ago, with another company that we got a tour of it. We locked in on a vision when we thought they were going to go somewhere great, and they actually did. They were 21 cents a share back then, and they were an all-time high this last quarter when they reported $74 a share. So quite a run for those guys. And we saw the same thing happening here and really believed in Robert's vision and mission. Well, unexpectedly, a week later, we had a bag and a tub of coffee show up called Elevate. And, I saw it said smartest coffee. Well, I'm not the smartest guy on the planet, especially when it comes to nutrition. I've struggled with weight my whole life. I see food and I want to eat it. I know some of you can relate. I've been overweight my entire life, typically about 60 to 80 pounds overweight. So I've done this yo-yo all the way through life of up and down and up and down. And the truth is, diets, if you follow them, work for a while, right? They work until you lose the weight. And then what do? We go back into all those old cycles, those old habits, and we gain it back. And of course, what happened to me was unexpected. I just started drinking this coffee and it turned my appetite off, got my attention. It also does a lot of other things for the brain in terms of focus and clarity and energy. But it really turned my appetite off like I'd never experienced before. And the same thing happened for my wife, Judy. And then I, took notice and I looked on the back of this. Now, I don't really, to this day, I don't have a clue what any of those ingredients do. But, the cool part is I didn't need to know. I actually sent a picture of this to Dr. Norma Kirby in Atlanta, Georgia, a friend of ours. And she texted back and said, that is really cool. This person that created this is a really neat guy. He really has something special here. I would have never thought of putting a couple of those items together, but now that I'm seeing it, this is pretty exciting what's going on here. And all I cared about was I wasn't hungry, right? Judy and I were going out to dinner now and sharing meals. Wasn't hungry throughout the day. Normally I was snacking all day long. By the end of the day, probably burning 3,000 calories, but consuming 5. And what happens every couple of days, you gain a little bit. And so that's what was going on. And it got our attention. But on day 10, was quite dramatic for me. See, I was injured 12 years ago in a car accident, got rear-ended by a drunk driver, and I had a lot of pain in both of my thighs. I actually felt like there was a hot iron on both of them, and some other things going on with it too. But the only thing that was working at the time, the only solution that the doctor could give me was pain pills. And it started out, as one white pain pill, 3-4 times a day. And it progressively became stronger and stronger. And then it was 2. And then it was, of course, he added another pill. These are just some of those pills that I haven't needed. Actually, I have prescriptions laying at home that I haven't had to fill either. So I was taking 330 of these a month, which is a little more than I'm actually showing you right here. And, I'm almost 60 years old, and the last couple of years have been pretty hard on me taking these pills. I was getting tired of it. And I was on this yo-yo all day long. As a matter of fact, any of you out there that are on that little yo-yo string, you don't leave home without these. You don't go anywhere without them. As a matter of fact, you count them, you measure them. You don't want to lose one, right? Because if you do, or you take too many, the doctors don't give you more of them. So you have to stay strict on a regimen, because if you tell them you lost them, they aren't going to give you any more. So these pills owned me. That's what was going on. But the crazy thing was, day 10, I woke up, and usually within a half hour to an hour, hour and a half, my legs would rage in pain. And this particular morning, it was a couple hours in, and I was having withdrawals. I felt like I had little creepy crawlers going all over me. I was dry mouth. I was sweaty. I was anxious. It wasn't a good feeling. And I knew what it was immediately. It was withdrawals. Well, my legs weren't hurting bad enough that I needed pain medicine. But my brain was, I believe now, telling me that my legs were hurting when maybe they really weren't. It was confusing to me. But I had an opportunity a few days after that to actually meet Kevin Thomas at Alternative Labs, the gentleman that created the smart coffee. And he really is smart. And he asked me, a lot of questions. He said, well, what about Xanthamax? And I said, I don't know what Xanthamax is. See, and he realized, oh, how would you, right? We just put it in a capsule. And this was really cool. It's got something in it called xanthol humol. And it's actually gets your brain to release a hormone. The hormone of happiness is what it's known as. And then he explained to me the coffee here gets your brain to release dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins. Well, I still don't know what any of that stuff is. But when he said, the hormone of happiness, if you hug somebody you love and you care about, that really good feeling you get when you do that, especially like you hug your child and you're proud and all that, that's your brain dumping oxytocin, which makes us feel good. Or you hear that story that moves you, right? That's your brain dumping oxytocin. Well, this helps your brain to do that. And there's a lot of people out there that, aren't doing that. So when I added the 1-2 punch of both of these, it changed my life, because he said, start cutting back on these pills. And I've cut back dramatically on these pills. Within another month or two, these things won't own me anymore. And I'll be free of them forever. I don't need them. I think there's a lot of people out there like me, to where you had an injury, it was causing you problems, and maybe you've healed and you don't know it, and your brain wants a stimulation from those pills, so it tricks you into thinking that you still hurt, so you take the pills. There's so many incredible stories out there. I want to go ahead and pop out to a few people that are here tonight to hop on the call. Erica, are you out there, and can you share your story?
I sure am. Hey, Mark.
Hello there.
Hi. So we're now on day 8. That's pretty exciting.
Awesome.
I know. So I started the coffee last Saturday morning about 7 a.m. Went out, ran errands, picked up kids, the whole 9 yards. And about 3 hours later, I realized that I hadn't had a cigarette. Hadn't even thought about it. I was about a pack a day smoker. Had quit before, but had started back up again about 5 years ago. Would get a lot of anxiety about quitting. Nervous, I'm going to gain weight. It made me so anxious, but I knew I needed to quit. And I am now on day 8, no smoking. So it's awesome, feeling fantastic. I've lost 5 pounds, and I've saved $50 this week. That's going to be like $200 a month.
Wow, that's awesome. You know what? You're right, Erica. This stuff is like having a piggy bank.
It is.
Amazing. Well, who would have ever thought, right, that smoking, but you think about it, cigarette stimulates your brain. I used to smoke. I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
I had a terrible time quitting.
Yep. It's hard, and I haven't even thought about it. I mean, I've had no desire whatsoever to smoke, so it's awesome.
Well, that's awesome. And then to lose 5 pounds on top of it, you know,
Right.
I didn't tell anybody. What happened to me is I wasn't hungry and the weight started coming off. And the next thing I knew, you know, it was 10 pounds and then 20.
Mhm.
And now I don't really know what it is anymore, other than I know it's more than 35. Could be over 40 now. I'm really not sure, but it's for the first time, you kind of feel like you're in control when it comes to food, I guess. That's what, for me anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not that, like, I'm not longing for my next meal or my next cigarette even. I mean, I'm just happy. I'm looking forward to life, and I'm motivated and creative again. It's awesome.
That's awesome. Well, great story, and continued success, Erica. Thank you for
Mark.
joining. Okay. Now we're here in the office, and I want to invite Steve to come on up and share his product experience, if you would, Steve. There you go.
Hey guys, so this was actually approached to me as a stock investment. Initially, I didn't know anything about the company, about the product, you know, that side of it. And, you know, we purchased some stock, and this package showed up. You know, we started taking it. We kind of fell in love with it, and it actually made enough impact in my wife's life that as soon as we ran out, she's like, hey, where do we get some more of that stuff at? Because I can totally tell a difference. And she has some thyroid issues, and she can drink caffeine at 10 o'clock at night and go to bed and sleep all night. So, you know, a lot of times things don't affect her. So that excites me when she's like, hey, this, you know, I'm not sure what it's doing, but it's doing something because I can feel it. And, you know, we're out, so you better figure out how to get some more. So, and that was when I realized there was, you know, this whole other side to this company, not just the stock option that we bought. But I'm just super excited. You know, we're fortunate to be here this weekend in Dallas with the leaders, you know, to be able to lock arms with Mark and Judy and, you know, my sister-in-law, Robin Grigsby, and just be able to be connected and just to be in the right place. What they have here is something just so amazing. When you see the whole package, when you see what they have that they haven't even delivered yet, you know, what you can do, the amount of lives that you can change, the way that you're going to be able to affect people. People need you. People need you to step into your greatness, to use this platform to, you know, to give to them. And it's about what, you know, what standing change you can create in their lives. And this is where they're giving it to you at right here. I mean, it's nothing short of amazing. It's nothing short of life-changing. This is the end game for everybody. And I just can't say enough about it. I can't say enough about the hearts and the integrity of Mark and Judy, and just, you know, what's going on here, the community that you're involved in, the culture that these guys are creating. And, you know, Robert Oblong, this guy's a genius. You know, John Pinkert. I mean, these guys are solely here to serve you, and they want you to just, you know, save everybody that needs rescuing. I mean, we can reach out to people, meet them where they're at, and just create everlasting change. You guys are going to be able to make so many life impacting changes for so many people. It's unreal.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks. You know, this playground that Robert started to create for us, I call it Field of Dreams, because it's really kind of like the movie. And, you know, if you'll build it, they'll come. And that's exactly what's happened. You know, if you're on this call tonight, you know, you've been invited because somebody's excited to share something with you. All of us have this little piece in this. We're all being attracted to it. And all I can tell you is this story is going to be amazing when it's finished. See, like I said, we fell in love with this industry, and Robert is about making those changes and getting rid of the barriers and delivering high impact products that affect people. But, you know, when I said it's a piggy bank, what I mean by that is a lot of times in this industry, you buy products because we want to try everything, right? Everybody's excited to try everything once. And so often they love the product, but the truth is, at the end of the month, it might not fit into the budget. And what excites me about with this product is the fact that dose, and we call it dose for dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. What excites me about this product is that at the end of the month, Judy and I it's crazy the savings we have because we're not eating junk foods anymore. We're not overeating anymore. We're going out to dinner, and it's literally saving us about 40% because we're sharing, because our stomachs aren't big anymore. We're not focused on food like we used to. That old buffet mentality, it's gone. You know, and I didn't talk about Sean Acor. That's what's really cool. You know, for any of you, some of you out there know who Sean is. We were fortunate a few years to get exposed to Sean. He works with over 30 Fortune 500 companies, big companies that understand what, you know, he teaches with positive psychology. He's a Harvard graduate. He's a professor. He figured it all out on happiness, and he figured out that we got to be happy first, you know, in life. And we had it backwards before. We always saw, you know, when I have that great job, when I have time freedom, when I have that love of my life, all that, then we're going to be all happy. And then, you know, we get it and we find out we're not really truly happy. It wasn't what we thought it was going to be. And Sean teaches that through positive psychology, you actually can make a shift and become happy. See, we got to get happy first, and that attracts a lot of goodness into our life. And it actually makes us drastically more efficient at everything we're doing and more productive, like crazy more productive, like over 30%. And you guys know what I'm talking about. We all have that person we love and care about that, you know, sometimes we just don't want to be around them because they get negative and they put out that energy, and even though we love them, we just don't want to be around them too much because of that. Well, he has a 21-day system that they can follow, and it will change their life. It's simple practices of gratitude over 21 days that rechannels you and changes everything. And so we're excited to be partnered along with Sean, actually in your kit. Even though this book, I have a copy here at the office, it's not been printed yet. This is like a preprint. When it comes out, it's going to be handed out to everybody that comes and becomes an Elepreneur with us. And you'll be able to bring this to our convention down here and actually have Sean sign it. So, you know, what is an Elepreneur? We're all about elevating your happiness, your health, and of course also your wealth. And, you know, now I want to pump up to Canada to Mike DeSur. He's got an amazing story that's happened. Mike, are you there?
I'm here, Mark. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you, my friend?
I'm excellent. I've heard you guys say, you know, you're fantabulous. Me, I feel like a sexitarian, so I'm creating new words too, you know. Yeah, so I have to go over a couple of things with the doctor because that's fascinating. So I won't stick too much with my story. My story is that I have never drank coffee before, or maybe when I was 10 years old, so I was never a coffee drinker. So when I had this conversation with Mark, I understand the opportunity, and I really followed the leadership of the group. If you are here for the first time, one thing I gotta say, you're in the hands of great people. Okay, like the leadership team is really insane. It's not people who are gonna just sign you up, and to them, you're not just a number. They are building great relationships. So that's one thing that attracts me to what happened. So I understood the benefits of the coffee and the other products. Well, kind of at that time. So I started taking it, and literally it's been pretty much a month now. Literally a month, or look very close to it, and I'm down 20 pounds. Wow. And my performance at the gym, which is something that I really struggle with sometimes, with the fatigue or lack of focus. Now it's been amazing since I've been on the product. But what I really want to talk about is a young gentleman here named Chris. I do a mentorship program sometimes and deal with youth with problems or unfortunate youth. And he was really in a bad state of depression. And he was really bad, where he was actually under suicidal watch. Drugs was involved. And I was spending time with him and sitting with him and talking. Every time I go to see him, I bring my coffee and I bring my Xanto Max and give him a cup, talk to him about health, try to make him be more active. Next thing I know, his mother called me and started thanking me, because he doesn't know what's happening with Chris. He has changed now. Now Chris is back working. He's lost weight. He's doing amazing, and now everybody's just very happy for him. Now his doctor called me, and he found it fascinating that Xanthomumol was literally put on a pill form. So he was asking questions. And he invited me to his office yesterday, and to show me the difference between his brain, Chris' brain's scan before he was on the Zentomax and after. So to me, obviously, this means nothing. So when he started explaining to me, it was really fascinating. And one thing that I can just say quickly, guys, because I know, there's so much more good news about this company you're gonna have to hear. But one thing that he really explained to me, dopamine is the type of feeling you have. It releases the dopamine is when you achieve something, when you accomplish something. So when you win a race, that's this feeling that you have, that's basically caused by dopamine. And when you feel like crap, it's because of the lack of it. And now when you have drugs like cocaine, they accelerate the level of dopamine in your brain. So that's why now your brain thinks that's the base level. So every time you don't have it, that's why we become so dependent on it. If you don't have it, you're always looking for it. So now he was telling me, and that's one of the things that makes me happy about the Zentomax. Well, not even the coffee, actually. He says, like, when you actually rebalance your brain to understand that wasn't the right level of dopamine you mean, and you bring it to the proper level by just drinking a cup of coffee, that's just simply mind-blowing. And that's why Chris now can function better. He hasn't touched drug for the last 2 weeks now. He hasn't been smoked. I mean, it's amazing. I'm the least biased human being you can ever meet. So I started taking this and I started sharing it because I believe in it. And again, the leadership of the company is just amazing. So thank you, Mark. And I hope you guys jump on if you're not on yet, because we're about to take off, and just join us in the journey.
Thanks, Mike. That's such a great story. You know what? When you hear that feel-good feeling, that's that happiness hormone that we're releasing, honestly. And how cool is that? So thanks a lot, Mike. Excited to have you share that again with us this evening. So you guys, we really do have something special here with our dose program. And I'm excited because Dr. Norma Kirby showed up here about 30 minutes ago. And excited to have her talk here briefly. Bear with us. I know we're going to go over a little bit tonight, but she's here, and this is special. And Dr. Norma is the one that I sent the picture in the back of the package. Come on up, Norma. Welcome.
Hi, everybody. You know, the stories that you're hearing tonight, I can tell you that the coffee and the Zentomax are doing exactly what they're supposed to do. Those wonderful hormones that are enacted by the nootropics are doing what they're supposed to do. And in fact, when you think about what happens to us in terms of when we're under stress, when we're upset, or when our bodies are full of toxins, it's not able to do what it's supposed to do. But the coffee and the Zentomax allows the body to do what it's supposed to do. I'm not going to repeat, all of what's been described about, dose, about the dopamine, the serotonin, the oxytocin, and the endorphins, but you just need to understand that the brain runs our body, and we think we may be running it, but it's running it for us. And as it's running it for us, it needs to be in a certain state. And this is the state that it gets in with our dose product. The other thing that's really quite wonderful about this combination is just the Zentomax itself. Xanthahumol is a wonderful product, even beyond what it's doing in terms of the nootropics or the things it's doing in the brain. It's also a fantastic antioxidant. It is more than 200 times stronger than resveratrol. Probably many of you have heard that resveratrol is like the king of antioxidants. Well, let me tell you, can't stand next to Zentomax or Xanthahumol, but Xanthahumol was not available to get into a capsule before we put it in there. So that makes us able to deliver a product that's going to help heal the inside of your body, your joints, all of the bad food that you've been eating. You're not going to want it because you've got something that's going to tell you not to have it. So I think the stories are wonderful. I'm just telling you that the combination is doing what it's supposed to do. And here's the other thing. It's actually healing you from the inside. It's reversing aging from the inside. So even when you reach your weight loss goal, you're going to want to keep drinking it because it's healing you. So don't stop even after you reach your goal.
Thanks, Dr. Norma. That was awesome, huh? Judy and I, like I said, have been doing this for 22 years. We've never had a product perform like this. This product is flipping amazing, right? Judy has lost over 35 pounds also as a result. You know, one of the things that I've noticed with Judy, and she was always going and getting this little chip thing put in her hip every 3 months. And I think she's probably at about 5 or 6 months right now. She's not needing it. And, you know, she had, you know, all the menopausal symptoms, right? Those hot flashes, they were constant. And at night, you know, her arm would go flying and hit me and the covers flying. And, you know, it was crazy what was going on. And that's not going on anymore. And, you know, I don't understand why, other than it's a good thing. And plus it costs like $500 every 3 months to go get that little chip put in. And that's a bargain from what I've heard, because when we lived in Minnesota, it was like twice that much. So it's really been a special experience that product has in our lives. And, you know, then you take an opportunity, because we didn't just want to share this product with you. The person that invited you on this call this evening also is interested in partnering with you if you're interested in an opportunity. You know, I believe we have a product here that the masses will be on, because when I say that, they stay on it because it's affordable, because at the end of the month, it gives you more back than you gave for it. And so I really believe we've got probably the most powerful product ever. And then we have what's called our Affinity Comp Plan. See, one of the things that resonated with me with Robert was, in all the other companies my wife Judy and I had ever been involved in, there was this thing called breakage in the compensation plan. And what I mean by breakage is they create hoops and hurdles, right? Like you have to have so many legs or so much volume to earn that next level down, to earn any commission on it. And everybody that's done this has always had somebody or a group of people. Some people have had lots of people that fall into those lower levels, and they're not eligible to receive the compensation plan as a result. And Robert wanted to get rid of all that. Don't make a plan that's dependent and has those hoops and hurdles, because the truth is those hoops and hurdles just end up being money the company doesn't have to pay out and they get to keep. And the reality is all these companies that, you know, say they're paying out 50, 60%, the truth is they're really not. You know what? Robert did a lot of consulting, and he was around a lot of different companies, and he knew what that number was. It was usually lucky to be half of what they quoted it was. So the difference here with our company is Robert doesn't need to be a distributor in a compensation plan. You know, that's happened to my wife and I pretty much everywhere we've been. As we built in it, we found out later on that, you know, the owners are in the compensation plan, their friends and family are in it. And, you know, then you're, you know, something you really can't talk about, right? Even though it's not resonating with you. And so Robert doesn't have to be in the comp plan. And because we've got a parent corporation that we're under, as long as we're successful, as long as he pays out lots of money to us, meaning all that money that most companies keep, he's going to give it to us so that we can drive share value, because we'll drive more sales, especially when you have a high impact product. So I want to go ahead and draw that out tonight. John Pinkert, our president, couldn't be here this evening. He had other obligations with his family, but I'm going to try and do a good job, or as good a job as John, if I possibly can. So, you know, imagine if, you know, you were one and done, let's say, because you know what? Everybody knows somebody, right? Somebody that's successful. And so imagine if, you know, you just went out and just shared it with that one person, and, you know, you love the product and you were taking the product for yourself, and imagine they were that superstar, right? And they went out and, you know, they made a bunch of money. You're going to be able to earn 22% of whatever they ever make. It's kind of a finder's reward in a sense. Don't have to, you know, go and build 2 legs or do this or do that. We're going to give you 22%. Now imagine if you went and found a second one, because you could, right? I mean, gosh, you're getting 22% on the one, you're going to go find another one. You get in that process, instead of 22%, you're going to earn 44%. So it kind of looks like this. There you are. You go out and find that first person, and the company is going to give you 22% of whatever they ever make. So if they make $10,000, you make $2,200. If they make $100,000, you're going to make $22,000. You can do the math. You know, I think everybody knows somebody that's been successful in our industry of direct sales. It's created more multimillionaires than any other industry in the world. So just imagine what it's going to do now that we're fixing the little things that can be fixed. This thing's going to be whatever it was on steroids. But if you go out and find that second person, now we're going to bump it up to 44% on both your two people. So imagine that, 44% instead of 22. We're giving you double what we were giving you originally, and that was quite generous. Nobody does anything like that out there. But the real cool thing with this Affinity Comp Plan is when you go out and you find the third person, you know, that's like the average in the industry. People go out and find their three, and this really unlocks some magic. And what it does do is it changes the number over here to 66% on your two. But when you unlock by finding that third person, that changes everything, because now it's going to be on your best two. So that's really cool. So your best two, we're going to give you 66% of any amount of money they make. Then on your third, we're going to pay you 20% commission. That's what that unlocks then. So 20% commission. And it also, if they go do the same thing as you, because they want the check match, right? If they go do that same thing, you're going to earn 20% on them also. So for practical purposes, let's just assume, because we do pay 100%. You know, most of the companies Judy and I've been involved with, they don't even pay us on the full sale. They pay us like at 75% or 80%. We're paying 100%. So on a $100 spend, you get 100 points. So we're using that as the barometer for this. So if they spend $100 at 20%, you're going to make $20. And so here you would have three people. You're going to earn $60 in that transaction. Now that's residual. That's the ongoing. That's where the wealth is created in our industry. You know, there's other monies when people are getting started and getting their first products and everything else. But this is a residual of the ongoing. You know, you heard the stories tonight. I've never seen a product perform like this. People start drinking it. They won't go without it. So now just imagine if you went out and found a fourth person and they did the same thing, right? Again, 20%. So this would be another $60 in that scenario if they were on the same product. But look, over here, we're not going to give you 66% anymore. We're going to actually bump it up to 88%. And then better yet, what if you went out and found five? That's 100% effort in the company's opinion. If you give the company 100% and go bring five people to partner with you in this program, we're going to give you back 110%. Never seen anything like that ever done before. So you go find that fifth, and they do that simple process of finding two. That's another $60, right? $20 off each of those at 20%. So what's happened when you've done that? Well, you've gone out and brought in, there's 60 times 3, that's $180 off of that simple scenario. Now, 1 and 2, what if they've done that exact same thing? They've just duplicated you. Because that's what this business is. It's a simple process of duplication. Well, if they each earned $180 also by finding their 5 and 3 and them getting their 2, doing that same thing, they'd each make $180. But wait, if they get $180, you get 110% of that. So you would actually get $198 on each of those. You would make in this scenario $576 as a result of that. I've never seen anything perform like this. You know, we drew it out in a binary. This is a binary on steroids. It pays out multiples in comparison. The reason why is because Robert wants to pay the money all out. And this is just page 1. There's still page 2, which, page 2 will be out on actually Wednesday as we merge over onto the new Elepreneur platform. There's some exciting things going on yet for a few more days. We have our different packs, and we have some amazing packs for you guys. But the cool part is we have a $250 pack or $249 pack. We have a $500 pack that obviously has more products in, but it also has a ticket to our convention here on March 2nd and 3rd in Dallas. And we intend to pack the house. We have our Pro Pack, our best one, and that, or our happiest pack, and that comes with 2 tickets to that convention. I've never been involved in a company that put tickets in the packages when you came and got involved with us. Never happened before. We're going to break and shatter every record. Judy and I have been around a lot of most companies at the end of their first year are putting 400 or 500 people in a room. We're going to come out of the gate, and at the end of our 3rd month, we're going to put 2,500 people in a room. We are going to shake up this industry like it's never been shaken up before. We are going to create and set the bar so high that it is going to force these other companies to make changes or get the heck out of the way, because we're going to come to market with awesome, amazing products. See, we have Kevin Thomas, we have Alternative Labs, and there isn't anything that this gentleman can't create. See, he's a master. It's one thing to put something in your mouth. It's another thing to get it into the body, right? And he's a master at getting things into the body. You guys, this is an opportunity to be part of something that's never been done before. Now, if you're interested in, what about ranks and all this other stuff, we have all of that. But you know what? It's not attached to any hoops and hurdles here by bringing a certain number of people. Everything is based off of volume. So we have all the different levels. We have lifestyle bonuses, amazing lifestyle bonuses. But guess what? You don't have to go buy a car. Some companies handcuff you. They make you go buy a car and they make you take on debt. No, we just give you the money. When you hit that level, we give you that money every month. Looks like it's going to come in starting at $400, and it's going to work its way all the way up to $3,300. It's not finished in ink yet, but that's what's on the board so far, unless it'll be a minor change. Imagine a lifestyle bonus of $3,300 or $2,200 or $1,100. There's going to be a lot of people getting those. That's a house. That's an education for our kids. Whatever you want to do with it, you can do. We also have global pools where you can be part of the entire business. As you climb up the ladder, Robert is putting 4% into a global pool that'll get divided up where you can earn shares in that pool. That way we're rewarded to work with everybody. In addition to that, we also have big one-time cash bonuses. Starting out as little as $500, but going all the way up. Can't even tell you, they go 500 and 2,000, 4,000, 11, 22, 44, 77,000, $100,000. These cash bonuses are paid out. It's not one of those things where paid out over 12 months or 24 months if you qualify. No, you qualify, they're paid out. And of course, we've got something nobody else has. Remember, our parent company is a public company. Imagine being able to earn ownership in that company through the form of stock. That program is going to be very exciting. There's an opportunity for everybody to start earning shares of stock and earn up to 250,000 shares of stock in a company. Now, John's not here tonight. If you've heard John, it's his job to take us to $1 billion as fast as he can. I believe we can do that in 4 years. His job also is to help to drive that share value in this company. Robert's midterm sights on our stock value is $100. You heard me talk earlier. Judy and I had that opportunity 17 years ago where it went from 21 cents to $74. And I'm going to tell you right now, they didn't care about shareholder value one iota. Robert does. John does. You guys, this is a chance to be part of something huge. Not just to create a great income. I mean, there's always going to be great incomes in this business, but an opportunity to create great wealth for your family. Get back with the person that invited you. Get on these products. They're absolutely amazing. become part of the Elepreneur family and let us, because that's what Elepreneurs do. We're a group of entrepreneurs helping to elevate others in their quest for entrepreneurship. They don't teach you in school how to build a business, but we can because we have. So thanks for coming this evening. Thanks to all the guests tonight. Amazing stories. You guys rock. Have a great evening, okay?
Night, thank you.
You bet. I got you all unmuted. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
great night.